So how is it going, Dank Division? Dank Dan here. Let's finally talk about the overhaul that is coming to DMZ in Season 4. So where do I even begin? Well, first, you have it that the DMZ menu is going to change. There's going to be 4 different sections that are going to be included. This will include the mission's objective, which is a mission select area, the location objectives, which is a map challenge, the FOB, which we're going to get a focus on that, and then there's a notes thing, which is a collection similar to what we've seen in Spec Ops. But let's first talk about the big one, the big thing that has people talking, the one thing we requested since day one of DMZ. When you dropped in initially, there was nothing really for you to do aside from missions to unlock insured slots. There was no real incentive to play outside of that. Now, you finally have the forward operating base, the FOB. Now, what exactly is this? This is a central hub for DMZ, and if you look on screen, you can now see what we're looking at. So, unlike faction missions that, were in previous seasons so far, this has upgrade objectives that are passive and are not required to be equipped to make progress. Now, the FOB is divided into 4 categories of upgrades, and keep this in mind, you have upgrades for the weapons locker. This will include the number of insured weapon slots, the insured weapon slot cooldown time, as well as being able to increase the contraband weapon stash size. Then you have the next category. This would be the stash. We have the wallet unlock, the wallet capacity, and of course the key and contraband stash size. Then you have the bounty board, which includes the personal exfil, barter recipes, and buy station discounts. Then you have the communication station, which includes the urgent missions. This is pretty much all being inserted to make for an easier way to unlock things, because let's face it, up until now it has been kind of a nightmare in regards to unlocking stuff. But let's first talk about the urgent missions. So the urgent missions are limited time missions that are unlocked throughout the upgrade objectives in the FOB. These missions will rotate and offer rewards for those who want to unlock stuff on a daily basis. So let's put it this way, they're pretty much daily missions. Now the wallet. Let's face it, you exfil with $100,000 and then you're sitting there going, oh wait, that went into the weapon insured slot and now it's gone. I go back in with $0. Now we finally have it that that's not the case. Now you will be able to take your money with you out as you go. So what exactly does this mean? If you look on the screen, you will notice that there is a limit of $100,000. Whether or not that's the bare minimum when you unlock the wallet, or if you can upgrade it further, is beyond my knowledge. But this means that you will be able to exfil and store cash outside of DMZ, meaning you can infill in with money so you can buy stuff right off the bat, or even be able to do missions if they involve having excess money right off the start. Then you have the new missions. Now the missions are designed, of course, to work across multiple exclusion zones, including the new one, which we'll get to that in a second. So this will include, of course, Al Mazrah. This will include Ashika Island. Then, of course, we have it that the new map that's dropping across the board in Warzone will also be included, and that, of course, is Vondel. Now, this will include a new boss, a new weapons case thing to go after, so be ready for that. Now, this is a larger map than Ashika Island and will support the same size. This will mean 18 operators or 6 total squads to run through this. There will also be an exclusive DMZ contract available called Signal Intelligence, in which case operators will hack phones to gain access to cash rewards from other contracts in the area. Now keep in mind that this map in particular is going to have dynamic fog that is going to be rolling throughout the map. Now the fog only exists in this map. Given its location below sea level, this means that it will be rolling through. It might seem visible for a moment and then all of a sudden improve and then deteriorate and then improve and then deteriorate again. So be ready. You might want to be running around with some variation of a thermal scope. I recommend the one that can switch between thermal and not thermal. Then of course we have the new faction, Phalanx, which, let's put it this way, it's run by Kate Laswell, and she is using this group directly to conduct operations, as she now has an interest in the unknown enemy faction that has invaded Vondel, that's being run, of course, by none other than Nikto. In regards to the story, this means that her group as well as Black Mouse will be executing missions together to gain intel to uncover the actual name of this force's identity. Now, you notice how I mentioned the new faction as well as previous factions. Now you have, of course, faction reputation. We have it that the redacted group is being replaced by Phalanx. For those of you who don't know which group that is, that of course would be Shadow Company that got replaced. So faction reputation is going to be arriving within the faction mission menu. Now faction tiers are still a set of missions with story missions at the end. So with this being said, the story mission in each tier is now unlocked when enough faction reputation has been earned. Now players can complete both standard missions and urgent missions to earn faction reputation. This gives more flexibility in how you want to progress through this. So moving on, we have the one thing that people are not too thrilled about, but I see this as kind of a neutral playing field. That of course is the reset. When we first had the reset happen, we were all pissed because it meant we lost everything, and in all reality they didn't change all that much. So what exactly is going to be reset? So first off, your contraband weapons will be rolled back to the starting weapons, meaning any contraband that you have right now, gone in an instant. The keys and mission inventories that you have, gone. Your faction missions and mission progress will be reset to make room for the new missions. Now keep this in mind, your insured weapon slots that you unlocked through previous faction missions, gonna be reset because there will be new ways to unlock them. Now keep in mind that all previous mission rewards, so for example this would be your weapon case rewards, are not going to be reset. Meaning if let's say you're in 5 out of 6 for Al Mazrah of claiming the weapon case, you'll still be at 5 out of 6 and we'll be able to continue with that. As well as any blueprint rewards or any other rewards that you unlock through the missions already will still be available to you. Now with that being said, it looks like DMZ is finally getting the love that it deserves, but it begs a lot of questions because it's still being labeled as a beta. So my big question is, what is their endgame at this point? While I would love for DMZ to continue onward into the Treyarch era and eventually be a cross between what it is right now and Outbreak from Cold War zombies, I'm still up in the air to see how that goes. So with that being said, I want to hear in the comment section down below, do you think this is a win for DMZ? And do you think this is enough to keep people playing the game? Or do you think the COD is too far gone at this point? With that being said, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment down below, as well as click that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. And you guys have a wonderful day, night, whatever you're doing, do it wholeheartedly. And this is Dank Dan, signing off.
Get them to click that subscribe button, Dank. It's the only way we can figure out the numbers. What do the numbers mean, Dank? We're wasting valuable time.